Hello, everyone. Stephen here. Before we get to the main part of this episode, which we recorded back on Thursday thinking there wasn't going to be much else happening, and we had to record early this week, and of course, we missed the revelation that the war between the land and the sea, the Doctor Who spinoff, will indeed be premiering on Sunday, December 7th, with 2 episodes at 8:30 p.m. UK time on iPlayer and BBC One, followed by 2 more episodes the next Sunday, the 14th, and then the final episode will be on the 21st. So we'll discuss this a little bit more next week. I shouldn't wonder, but this probably means that our RFS reviews, because this is what you really want to know about, is when our RFS reviews for this is going to come out. Especially given that it's not coming to Disney Plus until 2026. So we'll play it by ear. Let's say our RFS will probably come out on like Tuesdays or Wednesdays for 3 weeks during that time. But again, more on that next week. But yeah, curious release strategy. And Russell D. Davies is saying that you can watch 2 episodes a week and then the last one on the 21st, and then you'll have a nice box set for the holidays, is what he said on his Instagram. So will be interesting to see how that goes down. Also on December the 7th will be a Redux version, a re-edit of The Sea Devils, of course the 1972 series, which started the whole thing, unless you count Doctor Who and the Silurians. Benjamin Cook has re-edited it down to a 90-minute omnibus, not the slightly clunky omnibus that was already made back in the 70s for the Sea Devils for airing one of those Christmas. I think it's one of the Season 9 box set, but a whole new version of it with updated sound design by Mark Ayres and an enhanced score featured in The War Between the Land and the Sea. So Lorne Balfe, is that how you pronounce his name? Lorne Balfe, who does the music for The War Between, is also weaving together new music with, to quote the BBC press releases, Malcolm Clarke's groundbreaking 1972 music. Interesting. Would love to see how a new modern composer ties his own music in with Malcolm Clarke's distinctive score, shall we say. So a lot of stuff happening on December 7th for Doctor Who. We'll cover it all here, even though we're probably not meant to see any of it. But, of course, we all find a way. So more on that next week. And lastly, before we go, another guest was added to Gallifrey One since we recorded. Matthew Waterhouse is coming to Gallifrey One in February. So that completes the 5th Doctor Time Team attending the greatest convention on Earth in February 6th to 8th. Tickets are still available for that. I think that's everything. On with the rest of the show. Radio Free Skaro! Hello, everyone. Welcome to Radio Free Skaro, episode number 1041. I'm Stephen in Edmonton.
Warren in Vancouver.
And Chris in Edmonton.
We're recording this on a rare Thursday morning, just because Warren's going off to play D&D.
Damn right.
For the weekend. In real life, or like in the woods or something like that? Or is it...
Not in the woods. Close.
You're not LARPing or anything?
A mountainous area, yes.
Oh, okay. So you're LARPing?
No LARPing. No, there's no LARPing. Good God. Come on, there are limits, sir.
I just thought I'd ask.
And we lose about 5 LARPing subscribers. Sorry, LARPers.
Yeah, I know. Warren's
I'm glad you're having fun. It's not for me.
Live action role play, for those people that don't know what LARPing is. I had to actually think about what that actually stood for, and now I know. But so if anything happened, any big news broke between now and Sunday when this comes out, you've probably already heard it because I've tacked on a hastily recorded addendum to this podcast. But we'll proceed as normal, as if we didn't know anything that was going to happen. Not that we're expecting anything to happen, but it's good to cover.
Yeah, and Michael Caine announced as 16th Doctor.
That's true. Michael Caine. Who else? Matthew McConaughey. Somehow they're gonna AI his all right into oblivion because
it'll sound exactly like that.
It'll sound just like that. I just did it. Yeah, they willingly sold their voices to AI.
Michael Caine's in his like mid-90s.
He's in his
shocked
90s.
me when I heard it.
Yeah, he's 90s, yeah. So let's Tom Baker. Yeah.
James Earl Jones sold his for that same purpose as well before he died.
He did. That's right. And honestly, in what was the Star War that we heard him? It was one of the Star Wars series.
Obi-Wan series.
It was
Right,
I gotta say.
I mean, even in the prequels, he sounded iffy.
Yeah, in the prequels, he sounded a bit iffy. Even in Rogue One, actually, he was in Rogue One briefly too, and they sound a little bit like, he sounds like he's 80, and he was. But
Well, it's like the Simpsons actors. Like, you can tell. Or Tom Baker in the latest Big Finish stuff. Yeah, you can tell he's in his 90s.
That's true.
That's not a bad thing. It's just a thing.
I know. Tom Baker looking very dapper, by the way. I saw Facebook photos or somewhere floating around of his MBE ceremony. He was there. Louise Jameson was there to support him and stuff. And just, you know what? It's just like, that's almost 92-year-old Tom Baker there, looking dapper as hell. Getting his reward. Damn right. Tom Baker, man. Tom Baker.
The icon.
The icon, indeed. This episode features our recurring Torchwood Children of Earth review. Today is day 2. Hope you enjoyed day 1. As I said, I think we've more or less timed this for all 5 episodes of Torchwood to go out in 5 consecutive weeks just before the war between the land and the sea starts broadcasting. Some reminders and follow-up, though, before we get on to the rest of the news. Fluid Links. We're recording our first batch for the Fluid Links Advent Calendar immediately following this here podcast recording. So there's 8 of them gone. We're going to record 8 of them. So send in your Fluid Links. I'm noticing just anecdotally, it looks like Blue Sky is the most popular. An indication of how many people are still on Twitter. Precisely 0 questions have come in on Twitter. Good for you.
I feel kind of strangely optimistic about that.
Right, I know. A lot of them are Blue Sky. Some of them are Instagram. There's a post there. Sometimes we reboot them or repost them or whatever. There's also the Facebook page. Patreon supporters have been sending in their stuff too. So there we go. So send them in. Questions, comments about that. You know what? And we'll probably record our last batch into December once the war between the land and the sea actually starts airing. So you could by that point we might be right up to date with talking about the Doctor Who spinoff that's airing. So there, send them in. Next up, missing episodes follow up. So we talked last week about, because Mark Stuckey, who was interviewed in Doctor Who magazine, and was perhaps a little optimistic about the timeline when it came to Doctor Who missing episode recoveries. And I said that I would reach out to John Franklin of Film Was Fabulous, and I did. And he said, yeah, he's a little premature on that. So gear down, everyone. Calm down.
Fans overacting? What?
I know. The right people are doing the right things with regards to missing episodes. All right? It'll be absolutely fine. Just stay calm, stay cool. Also, I mean, reading between the lines, I don't expect there's going to be a big missing episodes announcement on Doctor Who Day on November 23rd. I don't think so. Probably not. So, just calm down is basically the overall message that we're portraying here at this point. Calm down, especially you, Warren, and especially
I'm
you,
out of control.
Chris.
Oh my God.
No.
Mm-hmm.
I'm too excited. Can't you tell?
I know.
And he just can't hide it. He's about to lose control, and I think I like it.
Yeah.
That's hot.
They also following up. So last week we also mentioned that Tubi in the U.S. Doctor Who was showing up under the Leaving Soon tab on Tubi in the U.S., but didn't seem to be the case in Canada. Well, not only does it show up in Canada now, but it also has a countdown. By the time you listen to this, Doctor Who's gone from Tubi. Mm-hmm. Classic Doctor Who. It's gone.
I got a message off Brian, one of our listeners, saying, I think it was last night he sent it, might have been the night before, but either way, he said on Tubi in the US, it now says 3 days left at the time of whenever he sent that message.
Yep, it does. I'm literally just looking at it right now. I'm finding it.
So Canada too now.
Canada too.
Oh wow! Okay.
Leaving tomorrow, and this is, of course, we're recording this Thursday, so like I said, it'll be gone. Mm-hmm. What gives?
Did you by any chance check any other locales, or just in case it's like also, I don't know, Belarus in the UK or something?
I don't.
Good old Belarus, the place you can't put anything you put on YouTube. Belarus warns you. Oh, this is copyright. Somehow.
Yeah.
They have all the copyrights. I'm not sure how.
Yeah, I don't know how either. No, I haven't. I've only checked. I've only checked Canada and the US because that's kind of what I have access to. So no, I haven't checked the other 194 countries around the world.
Well, I mean, honestly, I don't even know if Tubi operates, like how many countries they operate in or whatever.
Good point.
Yeah, do they operate in
Might just be North America.
Seychelles? Yeah, Namibia perhaps.
It's Fox. It's like Fox TV, not Fox News, obviously. So that's part of it.
That's true. Fox does own it, doesn't it? Yeah. Yeah. Who knows? It's still on BritBox. I mean,
Which technically means Disney owns it because Disney owns Fox, the studio part.
No, that was part of the hiving off. Was it?
It was separate.
Oh,
It
okay.
was separate.
All right.
They bought 20th Century Fox.
Right. Okay.
So basically, yeah. So it's gone from Tubi now. I think it's still, at last report, again, we're recording this on Thursday, November the 13th, but I think it's still on Pluto, but Pluto just has streaming channels, it's not like Tubi where you can also just watch the shows on their own.
Like on demand, yeah.
Yeah.
Tubi's corporate info thing website says they operate in the U.S., Canada, Mexico, Latin America, UK, and Australia.
Okay. So not even worldwide even, so, okay.
No,
Yeah.
It's a handful of areas.
Right. Well, I'm literally watching The Mind of Evil right now on Pluto TV, so it's still there, and there is no real leaving soon when it comes to things on Pluto. I know like many moons ago we talked about like the Samsung TV Plus. If you own a Samsung Smart TV, they have a bunch of channels on there. There used to be a classic Doctor Who one there. It's gone. I don't know when it disappeared, but it's gone now. So once again, Doctor Who seems to be disappearing, apart from iPlayer in the UK, obviously, and BritBox outside of the UK. Even though those channels were sort of like BritBox sponsored channels that often say like brought to you by BritBox is why you're watching this. So
I mean, it's still on actual subscribe to BritBox here. So
yes, it is. Yep.
Yeah. But I'm paying to get on there. So yeah.
Yeah.
And the 21 episodes on Disney Plus, of course.
And the 21 episods on Disney.
But for how long are they going to be there? And when will they recut the Reality War so it has money for nothing at the ending? In fact, that sounds like a challenge to myself to take the end of Regeneration.
Just do money for nothing. Just
if
crash.
somebody hasn't already.
Crash in the last scene of Willow, the TV series, at the end of the Reality War. I mean, why not? Why not? It makes as much sense as Billy Piper.
Anyway.
So there you go. That's the where could you watch Doctor Who the update answered nowhere. Like we recorded the Children of Earth reviews. Like I want to say, what did we do that? Like the summer?
Yeah, summertime. Yeah.
I feel like you could watch the Children of Earth on streaming services back then, and now you can't. Like we're reviewing a TV series that you can no longer watch. It's the most inaccessible thing.
We outright mentioned you can't watch Torchwood anywhere in those recordings from the summer. So
that's true. So it's so odd. So yeah, I mean, I don't want to sound like an old person any more than I already do, but like DVD, like physical media is becoming the only way to watch some of this stuff. I suppose you can buy it on like iTunes or Google or whatever, but
yeah. Not in the news, but
right.
On that tangent, on Amazon Canada, season 13 Blu-rays are now up for pre-order.
Yeah, we ordered ours. Yep. We being you and I, Chris, basically.
Yes.
We ordered ours. Yep.
Yes. Did we mention that Blake Seven's up as well?
I think we did.
That one I have ordered.
Yeah, Blake Seven's up for pre-order in Canada and the US. Yeah.
Just talking about Disney Plus, Willow, whatever physical media. Let's had a quick peek on Amazon US, and you could not buy the Willow series on Blu-ray.
No.
So
they didn't even put it on Blu-ray. Oh my God! Wow. Because that's right. So that's right. They would have to pay.
That is very, very, very extra dead now.
Yeah. That's basically lost media now. Like, I hope you pirated the Willow TV series because...
Which presumably you can still do. Not that I'm encouraging such a thing, because it's a terrible show. But
where are you going to find it, though?
Right? I know.
In circles like that, okay, sure. Maybe I'm assuming that it's like that, but
I haven't gone looking.
Versus wanting to do it firsthand, that's just not going to be a possibility.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, piracy.
I think the official term is backup copy.
Yeah, there you go. Listen, you don't want to be
off-air backup recording.
In 20 years' time, all that's going to exist of Willow is that post that person made of the last 2 minutes of the last episode with money for nothing in there. Because it's,
and is that really such a bad thing?
That's true, actually. Yeah. The telesnaps
I enjoyed the series.
Yeah.
Well, is that such a bad thing?
Yeah, very curious to see what happens with Doctor Who once the war between air. I mean, I even saw someone say to me like they weren't expecting the war between on Disney until the spring. I don't know where we all got this sort of February thing. Maybe because we thought, well, it'll be on February just because of Gallifrey One and stuff. But like, it might be on in the spring. What if it doesn't air at all? What if Disney says, whatever?
Entirely possible. Who knows?
Yeah, it's totally possible.
It's entirely possible that they do that, given that the deal's up, and they even bumped. Did we talk about this already? That Wonder Man show? Wonder Man.
I don't think we did.
Okay, good. That Wonder Man show, which was originally slated for late November, December, it's now in late January 27th, I want to say, because they are clearing the decks for this Percy Jackson thing, which starts on December 10th. So I think they even moved their own Marvel shows to a different month so they don't have to contend with that. So it's not at all surprising that they kicked the war between down the road. And now they don't really have any obligation to show it if they're not going to have to do it day and date with the BBC. I mean, when do you bother showing it, Who knows? That's what I think.
We shall see.
Mm-hmm. They paid for it. You'd think they'd want to show it, but it's happened in the past where
Hollywood doesn't
go that way.
Yeah. I think timeline-wise, I think the deal was pretty much over. Not necessarily like formally over, but I think by the time they actually entered production of the war between, I think it was kind of over. Like it just feels like they kind of knew behind the scenes, that's going to happen, and let's just make this and see what happens. And we'll see. Interesting times. Times.
Look at somebody like Warner Brothers, where they kind of, I guess it's coming out eventually, but the Coyote versus Acme movies, they just shelved, or the Batgirl or Batwoman. I can never remember which one it is.
It was Batgirl?
Which wasn't quite done, but also just got shelved too. Like a lot of that, just, whatever, I'm just writing this off because that's what I'm doing.
Coyote versus Acme was picked up by a different distributor.
Yes, eventually, but it sat there in limbo for a little while.
Yeah, whereas some of the Batgirl, Batwoman, whatever, I mean, Warner seems to be a little more protective of the DC stuff, so I'm not sure that's going to see the light of day through a different distributor.
Anyway.
Yeah. Maybe somebody who works in the vaults will leak a copy,
Oh, I have no doubt at some point it'll show up somewhere.
Yeah, hasn't happened yet, though.
No. And I'm not really gagging for it, as the Brits would say, but also, it's more indicative of how these companies think, to the extent that they do.
Mm-hmm. which is what do they think at all is what Warren
like the people greenlighting Willow and saying money for nothing at the end, that sounds like a great idea.
This is what we need. This is what the kids are clamoring. Listen, I bet you they probably looked at the Disney Plus numbers and thought, wow, huge uptick for Willow this weekend. We got to commission a full series. That's probably literally how it happened, and they probably I bet you probably Netflix, they go, let's throw Gilmore Girls on there, and says, oh my God, everyone loves this. Let's make a follow-up movie. It'll be crap, but let's just make it anyway because everyone's watching it. That's probably how it happens.
None of this makes any sense.
None at all. None whatsoever. Speaking of not making sense, let me do this right now. Staircase. A lot of comments, by the way. Thanks everyone for catering to my
indulging your
lunacy
a
little bit. So I apologize. Somebody sent me this on Blue Sky, I think it was, but somebody has already done about a year ago. Somebody did on a website called Doctor Who Prop Hunt. I haven't looked elsewhere on what they actually look into on the site. I don't dare because I'm already obsessed with this one stupid thing about the staircase prop. For those that don't know, there's a staircase scenery prop that has appeared in Doctor Who several times over the years. I'm in the midst of chronicling it. However, it has since gone off into wild bits of territory. Last week, I sort of said that the same staircase showed up in like Slow Horses and a horror movie from 1994 called Funny Face. I think now having looked at each of these staircases very carefully, I think they're actually different staircases, which is now completely throwing me for a loop. This is the problem with having a weekly podcast. See, Gav Rymel and John Green of Dalek 6388, when they're looking at the history of Dalek props, they take their time and don't provide weekly updates of their dedication to this and then come out with a full video once they are certain of all the facts. I don't work that way, apparently.
No, you don't.
So I just have to, I'm watching this and just sort of like, you're following the journey along with me, basically. The curious thing, so what did I talk about last week? About Hammerwood Park, right? The house that Led Zeppelin bought for a time and then they fell into disrepair. Anyway, I found a Blue Peter report of the tour of that house from 1988 that they were covering the restoration of this, and there's a quick shot of the tour through the house, the guy who's renovating the house and the Blue Peter host, and they're coming down the spiral staircase, which looks almost identical to the spiral staircase prop, and they even say, so yeah, the original stairs had rotted away, so we had to put that spiral staircase in there. So it's quite evident that is a temporary solution. It's that staircase that is actually still there in like 2016, I think, for a rock video that I found a clip of, and the staircase is still there. Was it permanent then? Who knows? It looks almost identical to the one that's in Doctor Who. Anyway, the prop hunt, you can links in the show notes at radiofreescaro.com. Goes through a bunch of, it's not a definitive list of all the Doctor Who appearances, I hasten to add. He does a little flowchart of various appearances like Steptoe and Son and Adam Adamant Lives and Ready, Steady, Go and everything like that. I'm happy to report, shows up in Gambit, baby. Blake 7 Gambit. It's in the background of
course it is.
Crantor's
of all the Blake 7s it could be in.
Right?
Gambit would be the one. That's the one time, like, I honestly started tuning out about whatever it is you're talking about. But then I heard Gambit. I'm like, I'm back,
that's
baby.
Fine. That's why I said it. That's why I threw it in there. But there's also like they include a similar looking props, and this now is what gets me thinking, because there's another staircase from a show called Here Come the Double Deckers. It's a kids show from 1970 on the BBC. So technically you think it'd be the same prop. It's not the same prop. It's a totally different prop.
Controversy.
Here's the curious thing. So there's also a clip of Tom Baker from a show called The Book Tower, or I think he just read books. He sat in a chair and read books.
I mean, this sounds pretty awesome, actually.
Yeah, I know. This is for Yorkshire Television. So it wouldn't necessarily be the same prop because it's from a different company, right? But the staircase prop in behind there actually looks closer to the one that I saw in Slow Horses, because there's a slight notch in each of the steps. Is that the one that actually shows up in Slow Horses? And then oddly enough, there's a very similar looking staircase that's in The Snowmen of all stories, the one that Clara climbs to get to the TARDIS in the sky, which looks very similar, because it's like
I don't think it's the same one. I can't believe I'm getting sucked into this discussion.
I know it looks bigger, but it's otherwise very similar. I will be anyway. This is the ongoing obsession with this one prop, or multiple props now. It's expanded into a wider thing. Here's one thing. I don't think it's a lone stun case anymore. I think there's another
confusion
staircase
in your mind.
Yeah, there's another staircase going on, possibly on the grassy knoll. I don't know, but
now we're talking.
Now we're talking, folks. Through the looking glass, people. Through the looking glass. Either of you have any comment to make on?
Well, Chris wisely just withdrew from the discussion as I jumped in like an idiot.
I've been poking around the archives on that site, and in July this year, there's an article on the Kananga controls. So the control panel from Ark in Space that they throw the cricket ball at.
Oh yeah.
So it was found in the underground lair of Dr. Kananga from Live and Let Die.
Nice.
And then some other stuff, including Ark in Space, Planet of Evil, and so on. So that's another one that I wouldn't be shocked if you wanted to.
I don't want
look
to.
Into, Stephen.
I don't want to. No,
he doesn't want to, but is he going to?
No, I don't want to, because it doesn't jump out at me as much as that spiral staircase does. You know, it's a beautiful piece of work.
Well, you're a fancy lad. You know what we should have had? We should have had it in the TV movie, and Eric Roberts should have come down and said he is dressed for the occasion on the spiral staircase. That would have made it 110% better.
That's true. Yeah. Anyway, the research continues, everyone. All I know is that it looks like it had its debut in Steptoe & Son, which is either from 62 to through 65, so it predates Doctor Who. It was I will continue this for you, the listener.
Did it show up on Sanford & Son crossing the Atlantic?
No, Warren. This is not a joking matter, okay?
Yes, it is. It absolutely is a joking matter. Yeah, don't be ridiculous.
This is serious stuff.
No, it is not.
To your point, Warren, and this is me moving us on.
Thank you.
If only you could ask Paul McGann at Gallifrey One if they could remount that scene and have Eric Roberts come down.
That sounds like a perfectly good waste of his time.
Yeah, you can. I was going to move on anyway, Chris. I want that stated for the record. Paul McGann sadly no longer appearing at Gallifrey One. Immediately, people started thinking, "Oh, he's going to shoot Doctor." He's not shooting Doctor Who. He is not shooting. He's either on stage, or he's shooting this new Luther movie for Netflix, which is also shooting in February. Although I admit, for a half second I thought, is this Doctor Who? But thankfully, as you know, Paul McGann voiced our 1000th episode intro for Gallifrey One.
What a lovely fella.
Right? Because I asked Ken Deep, and he said yes. And so I asked Ken Deep again, and he said, no, Paul McGann's not doing Doctor Who. So our source for Paul McGann not returning to Doctor Who is Paul McGann. There you go. That is direct from the horse's mouth there. So happy birthday.
Also, that doesn't make any continuity sense.
Yeah, but is that a trustworthy source?
I would need a second source in this other than Paul McGann on Paul McGann's whereabouts. Yeah.
Schedule permitting.
Yeah. Happy birthday. Paul McGann, 66 on November 14th.
And still ridiculously good looking.
My God. Handsome man. Sad I won't be able to see him in person again.
Handsomest Doctor? Arguably so. Tennant, is very beloved for his looks.
I think Tennant takes that cake.
I don't know. Let's see what Tennant looks like when he's 66. Let's
mind you, Mr. Shudigawa is.
That's a fair point. Yeah,
cuts quite the attractive cloth. So
see what he looks when he's 66. That's literally double his life from now. I mean, if he's too tired to be Doctor Who at 33, let's see what he's going to be at 66.
Well, probably alive. So.
Presumably, I hope so.
Yeah. Anyway, Gallifrey One discussion panels are now open for sign up. I've signed up for 3 different ones, maybe even a 4th. I don't usually do the discussion panels, but I feel, you know what? There's only 3 years left of Gallifrey One. I kind of want to, spread my experience around a little bit. So I've signed up. I've even thought, I thought about this last year when they announced it. Thinking, you know what? One of these years, I might actually even do a photo op. I've never paid for a photo op. We've never really had to. We've been privileged in our position that we get to talk to a lot of these people on the podcast and stuff like that. But you know what? Last one, I might do a photo op. But
I did with Michelle Nichols.
That's right, you did.
Michelle Zuhura, for God's sake. You got to come on.
Yeah, she's no longer with us, so yeah. So anyway, links in the show notes, gallifrey1.com/panels. Tickets still available as well, of course. And lots of interesting discussion panels there for you, the people who are attending the convention. What else we got here? Is it Children in Need this weekend, Chris? Is that the weekend that it is?
Tomorrow as we record, yeah.
Right. So it's already been and gone. There's obviously no Doctor Who. Remember when I suggested there would be like a Billy Piper as Doctor Who sketch?
Well, it's a legitimate spepeculation.
Yeah, well, it's not going to happen.
But that could still happen next year. Or comic relief, or maybe Billy Piper will appear in the comic relief sketch next year and then regenerate into the David Tennant again for the RTD finale in Christmas 2026. There you go. That's our prediction.
There you go. Done.
Not going to happen.
Nope.
Anyway, some lovely people made a cute little film, 3.5-minute film called Tiny Time Lord Trouble, where a giant life-size Pudsey and a Dalek and a Cyberman try to thwart Sophie Aldred, Ace herself, in a lovely little thing.
What kind of Cyberman?
It's an 80s Cyberman.
That's right.
With Nick Briggs doing a modern voice.
Or someone doing a modern. It wasn't Nick Briggs. It's not Nick Briggs doing the Daleks either, but yeah, someone doing the voice. But anyway, cute little thing. I'm not entirely sure who made it. It's on Steve Healy's website, but either he made it or other people made it. I'm not sure, but links to the show notes if you would like to watch it. Cute little thing for children in need.
My favorite part was when Sophie Aldred uses a sonic screwdriver, and you can very clearly tell it's one of the toy prop ones.
Hey, I don't have a problem with that.
No,
it's extra kitschy. I love it.
It's a well-made
In fact,
prop.
it's the one I have. I think we both have that, Stephen. That Fourth Doctor one.
We bought that at Toys R Us in the
Cardiff,
UK with friend of the show Andrew Smith. That's right. Way back when. So there you go. Have a look at that. It's lovely. It's cute. It's fun. Also, BBC Writers' Room. There's updated scripts there now. Neil Cross has donated his 2 scripts that he wrote, The Rings of Acton and Hyde, and Toby Whithouse has submitted his script for The God Complex now on the increasingly vast Doctor Who script library. So you can read along. You can watch those episodes and read along with them if you wish. Or download them as Chris has.
Yes. I mean, generally speaking, the scripts that are posted there are earlier drafts.
I know.
Like Hyder in the House is still the title for Hyde on that one, for instance. But yeah, so following along with the broadcast version isn't always possible.
No, but it makes for interesting watching to see what changed and whatnot.
No, it does. Because, I mean, back, what was it, 10 years ago now? Whenever it was, we did the commentaries with Rachel Talalay for...
Oh, yeah, coming up.
Was it Heaven Sent, Hell Bent?
Yes, it was.
So, yeah.
Yep.
And using the scripts as posted on the Writers' Room site as research.
Yeah. It was handy. Rachel Talalay, by the way, put out a new video about contemporary reactions to Tank Girl, and she's promising another video on her YouTube page about shooting stuff in the TARDIS, which will appease nerds like us.
Well, I want to appease, they'll just tease nerds like us.
Well, that's true, but she's a great director, so it's fun to see. What stuff she works on. But anyway, if you want to read scripts, links in the show notes, radiofreescaro.com. This is fun. There's a new podcast called the Pondcast coming soon. It's from Karen Gillan and Arthur Darvill reminiscing about their time on Doctor Who. Mm-hmm. How awesome is that? That's pretty fun, isn't it? I think it's fun. It's not the first time that's like I want to say who is it? Dominic Keating and Connor.
That's Star Trek thing. I can't remember which.
Connor Trenier does the Star Trek. Other people have sort of like let's watch the show that we were on like 10 or 15 years ago sort of thing. And so
people on Lost did that. I think Battlestar Galactica. I think Tricia Helfer and somebody else did that.
Oh, nice.
Nathan Fillion and
Katie Sackhoff. That's who it was. Yeah.
Nathan Fillion and why can't I think of his name? Guy who played Wash.
Alan Tudyk.
Alan Tudyk, thank you. Are doing that as well. I don't know if it's just for Firefly.
It's K2SO, thank you.
But
anyway, that's the gist of this one. They've already recorded some episodes, including one with Stephen Moffat coming back. I have to think they're probably going to wrangle Mr. Matt Smith to come on one of these.
You would think so, yeah. I mean, they seem to be chums back in the day. So
if he's got time, he's meant to be in, I think, Italy filming the Star Wars movie.
That's right. He's filming that Star.
Yeah, sure. As I said to Chris when he was here, I'll believe it when I'm in the theater watching it.
They're actually shooting at the Warren. They've never gotten this far at making a new Star Wars movie. You know?
Yeah, they shot Solo before they changed directors. Let's just see how this all plays out.
Good point. Okay.
Solo, by the way, isn't that bad. I think it's not great or anything, but it's all right.
Yeah, I suppose it's all right. Anyway, I'm looking forward to this. It looks like great fun. It makes me happy when people who make Doctor Who have such a good time on it, because it almost feels like we have a sort of responsibility. Like, oh, we love the show and we're glad that you had a good time making it, and still want to be friends 10, 15 years after, and then want to do a podcast about talking about how great it was. So it's just lovely. Like
the next Gen cast, I wish they would do that, because they seem to all be genuine friends, and it'd be pretty great to hear them, if they haven't done this already and I'm just not aware of it, their own podcast or something of that similar. I mean, they've done a million cons, so maybe they don't want to, but
that's the thing. I feel like they probably have done in the US when it comes to those kind of conventions, the big Wizard World kind of things.
Like the one in Las Vegas, for instance, stuff like that.
I'm just thinking of Darvill and Gillan. I don't know if they've done a lot of panels together at conventions or whatnot. But even then, it's not the same as a podcast, So
yeah, and when it comes to Star Trek, that Dominic Keating thing is kind of doing the job anyway. So
yeah, yeah. I like that show. I like it when they record in person. I watched a few other episodes. It's kind of neat. They have people from all different stars Trek on that one. Which is kind of neat. So anyway, Pondcast coming soon. And there's a full interview with Arthur Darvill coming at radiotimes.com, not Radio Free Skaro. We do not have the exclusive.
We're not talking to him.
No. So I'm looking forward to hearing that.
I think, how can you not have something called Pondcast?
Exactly.
When that name is just right there for the plucking.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think there is actually another podcast called Pondcast. It literally is about ponds and like
about frogs
and stuff. Like, yeah, it literally is. But so there might be some legal battles, but
the SEO will bury that, I'm sure.
Yep.
Or they'll get a bunch of new subscribers who then get really disappointed.
That's true. It's like it's been 15 minutes and they just keep talking about frogs. Or rather, it's been 15 minutes. How come no one's talked about frogs yet?
Exactly. Either or.
Yeah. Speaking of listening to things, Miles Taylor is the new 11th Doctor for Big Finish, announced as 2026 to be there with a full cast 11th Doctor audio dramas, because of course they didn't get Matt Smith, which is absolutely fine.
Sounds uncannily like him.
It's amazing. That Big Finish posted a brief clip of an adventure with the new companion Eleanor Fong, as played by Jasmine Bays, who was in a couple of Shooty Got What Doctor Who episodes as a unit corporal. And yeah, Miles Taylor, pretty much bang on.
I mean, it's much like, I can't remember his name now. John Corley, I think is his name. The guy who does the War Doctor. Just nails it. And it's not quite the same, but it's just like Tim Treloar. The flavor of it is there, and that's the important thing.
Yeah, and John Colshaw, who does a lot of different stuff, but his 12th Doctor that they had a brief thing of, like, wow, yeah. that's Capaldi right there, so like, and
sure, this Tom Baker is pretty damn close too.
It is very good too, yeah. But so yes, it sounded like, but it sounds good. It actually sounds pretty good. So yeah, he's the new 11th Doctor, and I actually didn't listen to that much Jacob Dudman when he was doing 11th Doctor stuff back in the day to compare, but the sound is right and the inflection is right. That's the important thing too. It's not just sounding right, but sounding like this is how Matt Smith would sound.
Well, and the Dudman stuff was audiobooks, right? It wasn't full cast. This is full cast.
Right, that's true. It was too. Yeah, it was. Yeah.
Not that it's any worse or better. It just was different.
Yep, absolutely. Yeah. So full cast. How about that? So that's coming in 2026. That's next year.
Stupid time.
I know. Hey, though, it's almost coming up Christmas. It's not yet, though. It's not even. It snowed like one day here in Edmonton, and then it's gone away, and it's been like, above zero for the rest of it. So it doesn't quite feel like Christmas here yet, which is kind of weird.
Raining like crazy here, so you say.
Oh, well, what's rain? Anyway, there's a Christmas special from a Big Finish. Of course, Linus is in Winter is out now. It's the December 1183 set 13th Doctor story with Jodie Whittaker, Mandip Gill in it. That weird sort of we've analyzed the cover art before.
Yeah. On this possessed soldier or king or noble or something.
Yeah, exactly. From 1183, obviously. So there you go. So it's out now. You can get it. It's Christmas themed in a while away because it's a Christmas special in mid-November. So there you go. And as is tradition now with Big Finish, when they release one, they give you the details of the next one to come. And it's 13th Doctor Adventures Ride or Die full cast audio adventure coming in January. Would you care to overanalyze the cover art for this one?
Some glowing thing. The eye glowing seems to be an ongoing motif. We've got Yaz with her hair buns, which is the best Yaz. And this thing is either a bug or I don't know what it is. It's a cloaked thingy with wings.
She's a banshee. A militarized version of the folkloric creatures whose shriek heralds death, to quote the blurb about it. So it's the Banshees. Jody and the Banshees, like Susie and the Banshees. The punk
So this will basically be the equivalent of the web, where those things are like screeching all the way through the end part of it.
Well, I have to admit, I was thinking the Web Planet. I thought at first perhaps that this is somehow tied in with the planet Vortis from the Web Planet.
Maybe it is. Who knows?
Has Big Finish done anything to do with the Web Planet in its
no idea, but they
years?
do like to tie things into other things, just offhandedly.
They do indeed, yeah.
If I search the word Vortis, there's 3 results, including Doctor Who Returned to the Web Planet, which is a Peter Davison thing.
Why am I surprised? I'm not surprised at all.
Yeah, that came out December 2008.
Fan favorite, the Vortis?
Yeah, no, the planet's Vortis, Warren. I think you'll find.
Well, what a rookie error on my part.
Yeah, it is. Web Planet. Probably, I can already tell you, it's probably the best looking iteration of Vortis ever seen in Doctor Who. And yes, I know it's an audio drama.
Wow, damn.
Sorry, Richard Martin. You know, the design is great. The direction is overly ambitious, shall we say.
Which normally you praise, by the way.
Normally I praise. Yeah, I know. How you know what? As the years go on, sometimes I want to think we should do like a re-miniscope sometimes. Like some of our earlier ones. Like have our thoughts
keep thinking that.
changed?
We're not doing it, but keep thinking it.
Yeah, I know. Like, I don't know. Do we need to reappraise Richard Martin for just not being bad, but just sort of being like over ambitious, exceeding his talents, shall we say?
After you found all the staircases, we can get on that.
Okay, sure.
Yeah.
Long may Richard Martin live, but when he does finally, go off this mortal coil, I wait you booking your trip to the UK and to, like, pee on his gravesite or something.
Wow, I would never do
place.
that. I would never do that. Come on.
Listen, there's only one person who is worthy of that, and that person is currently holding office, and I will say that.
Where are we at here? We're talking about the Bucks. Let's talk about the Bucks. We talked about this before, but it's now available for pre-order. Our good friend Elizabeth Miles has a new book coming out in March. It's called Where We Stand, Where We Fall, The Politics of Doctor Who. You know it's going to be a good book because A, it's written by Liz. B, the title is a quote from one of Peter Capaldi's great speeches in Doctor Who. So pre-order for that is in the show notes. She'll be on the show. We're going to bring her. I've already told her. You're coming on the show in March.
Ordered her.
Yeah, you're coming on.
No request, just a direct command.
Yeah.
Could you please reflect on the feminist part of Doctor Who? By the way, you're ordered to come on this program.
Come on the show and plug your book, Liz. So I'm very much looking forward to talking to her about it. So in March, that's when that's going to happen. Speaking of friends of ours, Paul Cornell's new publishing company has Cosmic Lighthouse is putting out the Salvation Child, which is a graphic novel prequel to the Final Architecture series from Adrian Tchaikovsky, and Sophie Aldred is actually like a character in it. Like they're using her like
ask how you guest star in it if it's a drawing, but I guess that's how you do it.
That's how you do it, and like throughout the whole thing, like she ages throughout the thing, gets like battle damage. If it was like a Sophie Aldred like action dolly pack, you get like 6 different Sophie Aldreds. Battle damage 1, Cyclops, a Sophie Aldred, young Sophie Aldred, the old one. So that's pretty cool that she appears throughout that. That's coming out in March of 2026. So there you go. That's links to the show notes as well to read all about that. Is that it? Are we done? Are we done with the news? We done?
I think so.
I think we're done.
Yep.
Any other further comments? Any updates? Any summaries you want to say?
I'm still bowled over by all that staircase info I got earlier.
Oh, well, sorry about that. And yet not sorry. I am
You're
sorry.
Not sorry at all.
I am beginning to be a little bit sorry about it. I'll see what things I come up with next week. But
your solution is to dive even further. Great.
I know.
Brilliant.
Yeah. So we recorded obviously the Children of Earth thing, which is going to conclude this episode. And so the next episode's coming out on Doctor Who Day, November 23rd, which is rare. Usually, a Sunday Doctor Who Day is a rare thing. It only happens once every 6 or 7 years. So we don't have anything planned for it unless some massive giant news drops at that point, and we'll talk about it. But next week will just be more tortured Children of Earth as we barrel on into the final 5 episodes of the Disney Doctor Who experience, that being the war between the land and the sea. So, but for now, after this very short break, it's time to talk about Torchwood Children of Earth Day 2. Welcome back. It's part 2, as in day 2, of our Torchwood Children of Earth 16th anniversary retrospecticus of the last great thing that Russell T Davies wrote for Doctor Who.
Ouch.
Prove me wrong. Prove me wrong until The War Between the Land and the Sea comes out.
As we record this, just for, was it yesterday or the day before? Just for fun. Yesterday it must have been. Just for fun, I was just poking around on my Apple TV, and I loaded up and watched all of the Star Beast for the first time in probably since it went out, so almost 2 years. And I think I disliked it a lot less this time around. I think I've become, especially after watching some of what was written by RTD for the Shudigawa series. Yeah, Star Beast wasn't as bad as I remember.
I don't remember it being bad, or Wild Blue Yonder, or most of the giggle until the stupid ball stuff at the end.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, I like Wild Blue Yonder, actually. Yeah,
except for the fact there's the cold open with Tennant standing in the middle of space. With 18,
the Disney only one where he has different hair.
With 18-inch high hair.
Yeah. Really big, long hair.
That sounds like a 11th hour grafting on for, maybe people don't have a clue what the hell this is.
Well, hey, Rachel Talalay didn't know what it was because she had nothing to do with it. I only saw it when she saw it at Chicago TARDIS when it premiered that weekend. So there you go.
What the hell is that, to quote Krusty?
Yeah, what the hell was that indeed? But that wasn't Torchwood Children of Earth. That was 2009, kids. For those that don't know, last week we began our retrospective of this, which we gave kind of short shrift leading up to, and then were blown away by it back in 2009. But it only aired over the course of 1 week. So this is our ongoing 5-part series in reevaluating and reappraising, reassessing, recelebrating, dare I say, Torchwood Children of Earth. This time over 5 separate occasions, essentially. Although, finally, only in this episode did I realize that basically the story itself takes place over 5 days, because they even say we are coming tomorrow, and that's what it says at the end of this episode. It's like, oh wait, they're doing this over 5 days, just like it was back in 2009.
Even if so-called day 2 starts with the evening of day 1, but yes,
that's true. But this is day 2. The synopsis teaser for this episode, written by John Fay, directed by Eurus Lin. All 5 episodes are directed by Eurus Lin. Torchwood 3 has been blown up by a bomb planted in Jack Harkness. Torchwood 3
has it. Boy, oh boy.
Well, boy. Gwen Reese and Ianto are on the run. Can they elude the government and save the planet from the 456? Well, that we don't even know much about their synopsis, so I don't know about that. But yeah, Captain Jack spends the entire episode blown up, essentially, and everyone else is on the run. I mean, right off the bat, I love that they do not flinch. Like, they blew that place up. Like, the whole Torchwood hub is gone. It's not partially damaged. Jack isn't crawling out going, oh boy, that was a rough one, wasn't it? No, he is blown to bits.
Bits and pieces.
I mean, Ianto kind of does that, but
true.
Yeah. Like the first note I made was the episode kicks off with a bang. Great debris by the production design team. Gwen almost being kidnapped, kicking ass with a fire extinguisher. The sniper comes in. Gwen's dual wielding pistols, leaping out of the ambulance.
I have some comments about the guns when you're done.
So John Woo, and it's just like the whole point of that being it doesn't, the hub has blown up. And you could, from a storytelling perspective, you could have a bit of I don't know, you could have a bit of a downbeat in the story where they're just, maybe there's a flashback to the hub, or something where the story just kind of comes to a very slow pace, and they choose not to do that.
Yeah,
it's just,
not at all.
Just right out of the gate, it's just go.
Yeah.
So with the firearms, first of all, that sniper is really incompetent.
Yes.
And secondly, I don't know a whole lot of anything about guns, but I do know the way she's shooting them ain't the way you shoot guns. She's like flipping them up and stuff, and I'm like, that's not gun shooting. Like I know enough to know that.
Yeah, I know. The leaping out of the ambulance, both guns, and falling to the ground.
And she's kind of flinging them. I'm like, no, that's not how it works.
Yeah, to no one's surprise, she does not hit the sniper. Nor is that gun really in like sniper range. Like if the sniper had a hard time hitting Gwen, somehow I don't think the pea shooter is going to hit her as well. But whatever.
Yeah, even though you see the sparks from the ricocheting bullets just below the sniper.
That's true. Yeah. But it made for a fun visual, I guess. I honestly, until that moment, I thought, I guess Gwen does shoot guns. I forgot all about that.
Yeah.
Seeing guns on a British show is weird.
Yeah.
I remember at the time there being, I don't know if it was I think it might have been a teaser or something rather than like a still photo, but I remember something from Miracle Day about Gwen, like Miracle Day, like dual wielding pistols and
holding a baby or something, wasn't it? Like her child,
holding the baby and the gun in the other hand or something.
That's what it was. In a shed.
I remember some really like massive badassery from Gwen, and I'd forgotten that. That's exactly how day 2 kicks off.
I want to say some of the promotional imagery from this season as well. Like everyone's sort of shot against that white background. They're all sort of wearing black and stuff. It's a very stark imagery. And I think one of them is Gwen lying, basically flying sideways, screaming and shooting 2 guns like that. Probably an direct homage to that scene at the beginning of day 2. But
also all the dual wielding kind of fell out of favor as a thing. Even in video games where you'd think it'd make more sense. You don't see a lot more dual wielding. It was a John Woo thing, which John Woo perfected. Yeah. And then people ripped it off. Standard Hollywood stuff.
My 2025 brain thought, she's grabbing a second gun, so whoever survives, she can give them the gun, be it Jack, be it Ianto. I know they're both for her, and I'm going to dual wield.
Dual wielding was like just a cliche amongst cliches back then.
It really was.
It was. Oh God, wasn't that like a big thing in like Doom or Duke Nukem 3D? Or
all those games,
something like some game, some first person shooter of
Halo.
Like
Halo
90s,
Halo's great because you're dual wielding machine guns. And it's quite fun.
That's ridiculous.
Some 90s video first person shooter game.
There are probably current examples too, but I haven't run into them. So
even Grand Theft Auto,
like as in when it first became a thing.
Oh, I see. You're probably something around. That's probably the neighborhood when that happened. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. What we still don't know, and this is what I like about this building mystery, is that clearly the Torchwood folks, especially Captain Jack, has been put on this hit list. That's by the government, and it's Peter Capaldi's John Frobisher character that is the middle manager responsible for executing this list and phoning this the mysterious assassin whose name I can't remember now. Johnson is her name, and it just it took me as because. I mean, obviously, we know Capaldi as Doctor Who, and I know him a lot more, of course, as Malcolm Tucker. And to see this poor old middle manager who loves his kids and everything else, but he's in charge of making sure that Captain Jack and these other 3 people, for some reason, are dead. He
reminds me of
terrifying in a way because he's just, I'm just doing my job. I'm just going to make sure these people are killed because that's what it says on the list. That's what the Prime Minister says. I feel sorry for him already.
It reminds me of the guy in Endor, whose name I can never remember, the William Hartnell looking dude.
Oh, Anton Lesser's character, Partisan.
Yeah. He's a little higher up and a little more evil, but he's kind of in the same boat.
Yeah, just middle managers doing the work.
Yeah, which he even comments on at one point, as I recall.
Yeah. Yeah. We see a bit more of Peter Capaldi. Once again, I'm surprised not surprised. I had forgotten how early on Peter Capaldi is in this, because I know when he turns up and then when he really blows me away, and it's in the episodes after this.
Hey, we haven't even seen Nicholas Briggs yet.
We haven't seen Nicholas Briggs yet in
spoilers.
person.
I totally forgot this is a thing.
Yeah, don't spoil Warren on these things, Chris.
Yeah, no kidding.
One thing I forgot, did Clem get out of, I don't remember Clem leaving the facility that he was living at in the end of episode 1.
But you see him walking down the street. And
I do remember. I think it's the end of the first episode. He runs out.
Does he run out? Okay, because I couldn't remember. I know that because we just see him sort of wandering around the streets in episode 2, and I thought,
and then in the pub
that.
with the "We're coming tomorrow."
That's true. Yeah. PC Andy
Who
shows
is
up.
a walking bag of hormones. Was he always like that? I don't remember. He certainly is here.
That actor's character in Secret Diary of a Call Girl, very much yes.
Very much the same thing. Okay.
Yeah, we got PC Andy back. So just because you brought him up, if it's okay, I'm just gonna throw a couple of notes I had about him out there. PC Andy knowing where Gwen lives and him being taken for the ride along seems a bit unlikely. Like, sure, he might know where she lives, but him going along for the ride along, no, because they're just going to look up her address from some database somewhere.
Also, he's irritating the hell out of them. So
I wonder if he was like the whole time I was thinking, like, is he buying time essentially? You know, I that's what my guess is. Like, it doesn't
poor job at it.
I know. Yeah. That's the thing. He's delaying them, but he's like making sure they go the exact speed they're going to go. You know, like,
well, the just to finish off the one note here, the covert team surely would want as few people in the know as possible.
Yeah.
But I'm assuming the rationale is just to be able to shoehorn him into the story.
Yeah.
Even at the expense of plausibility.
That's true.
But yeah, like even though he's a cop, I mean, when Johnson first meets him, she's like, "Don't you have some tape to put up or some whatever it is?" She says, like she's very dismissive of him. I don't get the impression that she would take him for the ride along. It's not like they're there to talk Gwen down. They're there to kill her. So his presence is just going to make that even more annoying for the hit squad. But that said, his reaction to everyone cocking their guns after saying, "Surely we're not going in, all guns blazing," that was cute. Same with his smarmy little "what kind of terrorist shoots your wheels?"
Right. Skillfully done, apparently, but
he had. I think he was there just for a little bit of levity, perhaps. I don't know, but
yeah.
I don't think if this were a realistic scenario, I do not foresee him being in that SUV.
Yeah, probably not. But it was fun. I mean, but you know, the great thing is there isn't like silly music accompanying him there. He's there sort of as comic relief, but he's also like, you know, kind of. He's worried about what's going on a little bit. I kind of wish if I was writing this, that he was actually leading them to a different address, and he could do a real great fake out where like Reese and Gwen are frantically trying to get out and everything like that, and they leave and stuff, and then you know they do the double fake, and the car pulls up to the house or something, they bust in or something, and it's like just some standard couple from Wales or something, and meanwhile they've torn off going off down the street or something like that, but then PC Andy would have gotten in trouble. But
as we also see though, there's that hit squad that goes to Rhiannon's house, frightens the crap out of the kids in bed and all that kind of stuff. So I mean they've done their homework.
That's true.
That's even more reason for Andy to not be in the back of that car.
That's a good point. Yeah, it actually, the fact that they actually find the right place and that they just point guns in kids' faces, just
and wake up a naked man, which I thought was quite funny.
That was
like RTD going to have his way to humiliate this guy.
I know, yeah, which is hilarious. Shows that they are ruthless and they actually know what they're doing. Although they didn't pay for the $25,000 upgrade to GTA to get bulletproof tires, and that probably hurt them a little bit. Warren's laughing; he knows what I'm talking about.
Of course I do.
Yeah. Gwen and Reese escape. How wonderful it is that they need money, and of course they have to go to cash machines because it's 2009, baby. You would never have to deal with that today. You just have to pay everywhere. It says
because that's not trackable.
Nope, not at all.
No,
it's secret somehow.
I suppose that's true.
It's like even Gwen says in the thing. She's like, as soon as you put your card in, alarm bells went off somewhere.
Mm-hmm.
Imagine how like these days. I could imagine the time it would have taken to even like liaise with the bank or get the information, know what card number, whatever to freeze. Like the time to do that nowadays would be nanoseconds.
You wouldn't even bother with that. We all have smartphones broadcasting everything about us all the time.
That's true.
Technically you kind of had that with the crappy cell phones they had, but not to the same level we do.
Well, Gwen throws Reese's phone onto the floor for exactly that reason.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. We've willingly accepted our police state, and we all have cameras. Yeah.
We get memes out of it. Come on.
That's true.
The low jack is real, and we've all got it.
Mm-hmm. It is indeed. What else we got? I like this episode. I really enjoyed the first one. I think probably a little more just because it was setting everything up, and everything was kind of new to me again at the same time. I don't know. What did you two think of this episode? Warren, what about you first?
Well, it took me a bit by surprise that it was so not spooky and more just bang, 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 thriller, rat-a-tat. But then I got into it and I was like, well, as that kind of thing goes, it was pretty good. Plus all the gory Captain Jack nonsense, which you don't really see a lot of, but you unzip the body bag and there he is like, and he's in pieces, and then he kind of shows up again. With what I found very amusing was all the strategic obscuring of his junk, like with either a big hose of liquid cement, or I can't remember what the other one was, but it was
like letters on the security camera, basically.
Exactly. Yeah, that's what it was. Yeah, it was a chyron in front of his junk. It was. I was like, nicely done.
Yeah.
So so just to throw a little thing there, for the note I made, we get butt naked Ianto's brother-in-law, and later on a naked Jack.
That makes more sense, but yeah.
And when he's on the gurney, the bed, whatever, in the cell, there's some writing on the screens for the CCTV system, and there's an X.
Yeah,
over his groin. So I had wondered then, does that make it X-rated, or is it X marks the spot?
X marks the spot. If Jack Harkness had anything to do with this,
yeah. And
then later on in my notes, I'm like, I wonder how much of Barrowman's nudity was at his request. Especially later on toward the end of the episode after he's out of the concrete,
right?
And he's you see you got the top down aerial footage of them running and whatever, and there's his bare ass, but. Even before that, Gwen tosses him a jacket and he just slings it over his shoulder.
I do love the way they played that. I thought that was quite... honestly,
that was so Captain Jack.
The whole... I mean, even though like they shot a lot of stuff from like overhead and everything and you couldn't see his face, I can 100% guarantee you that ain't nobody double for John Barrowman, let me tell you.
No, sir.
I love that
and
whole
jail... We know... sorry to cut you off. Yeah. We know he has no problem with personal personal nudity or boundaries. So that's, like I said, I wonder how much of that was his idea versus RTD or Eros Lynn saying, John, we're gonna need to ask you if it's okay if you.
Oh, you already got his pants off.
Exactly. I mean it works as it's because he's been blown up. It's a scenario where we go, okay, it will end with Captain Jack naked and emerging from rubble, because that's what would happen anyway. We're okay with that because John Barrowman surely will be okay when we tell him this is what we've done. Not ask him, tell him that we've done this. I think a lesser production and perhaps one with more money would have actually showed in some graphic CG recombobulation of all his
2009
parts.
graphic CG,
yeah, it would look bad, and we would regret it to this day. Yep. But the fact that we just see a body bag moving in bits
with some red goop in it,
like we kind of get the impression what's happening, and that is so much better than actually seeing it.
Yeah.
Less is more.
Yes,
definitely, yeah,
100%.
That's the bottom line there. Less is more. Yeah, had they done, like as Warren said, like the soldier unzips the body bag and you can see like the partially formed skull, rib cage, whatnot, and this blood and sinew and all that
red
kind
goop
of stuff.
Does a lot of work there.
Yeah,
but I mean that's fine. It looks good. It's also on screen for a second, 2 seconds,
even better.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That is 100% the kind of thing that somebody in the BBFC or somebody somewhere at the BBC or censors or whatever probably took a look at that and said, okay, you can have that, but you can only have X amount of that.
I mean, or it just This aired after the watershed. It aired at 9:00, so it was
true.
True. And there is some profanity across these episodes. Of course, it was oddly enough watching Peter Capaldi say the S word, like just sort of under his breath. It's just like, oh, Peter Capaldi's. Oh, right, he's Malcolm Tucker. That's right.
But also, I know I should know this, and I do know this, but seeing a Doctor Who thing where there's, the Randy swearing or whatever else still kind of surprises you, because I'm so used to not being like that for years and years and years after Torchwood.
Yeah. But, I think we alluded to this last episode where this feels like it's earned. It feels like it's mature. Yeah. Like they swear when they need to, and it's not like, as gratuitous as perhaps the first season of Torchwood was, No.
Yeah, it works just fine. It's just a little surprising is all.
It's not Sam Jackson in Pulp Fiction.
Hey,
nothing like that.
That's earned too.
Yeah.
If you got Sam Jackson, why don't you have him swearing? What, are you crazy?
Exactly. Marvel. What are you doing, dumbing down Nick Fury, for crying out loud?
Come on.
Put the Fury in Nick Fury. Let Sam Jackson swear a little bit more.
Well, he does at the end of some movie that leads into Avengers, but you never hear it. He goes, "Mother," and then it just stops.
Ah, right. Of course.
Yes, that is true. Something you said in your bit there, Warren, that I was going to comment upon. I've forgotten what it is, so I can't do that now. But I'll just jump in with saying that, much like episode 1, episode 2 just whizzed right by. Like you blink and it's half done.
Yeah,
and that's a good thing. Like,
these are an hour-long episodes. They don't drag. There's no dragging bits at all.
Yeah. Yet.
Yeah, not to beat on Reality War too much, but I remember seeing an hour. Oh God. And it sure felt it. So,
well, I mean, even like I wrote down a note. So it's basically around the 30-minute mark when it happened. So basically halfway through the episode, the story's slowing down so Gwen and Reese can have their little conversation in the back of the lorry. Like that's a good breather. It's a needed pause in the action.
And it's a natural dramatic progression point, too. They have to get to London. They have to do it under the cover. And so the only way to do that is a potato truck that they find.
Gwen didn't want to tell Reese she's pregnant, but that's as good a time as any.
Yep.
Yeah.
It's not like some shows where let's stop now and talk about our feelings, or they would do it with quips and stuff in the middle of a gunfight or something like that.
Why, what would you be referring to, I wonder?
I don't know what you're talking about.
But I also, just from a character standpoint, I just like the whole thing where, Gwen is like, sometimes when you rehearse an announcement in your head, and then she kind of just trails off, and he's like, what announcement? And then there's just a little bit of like facial expression and looking at each other, looking away, and Reese knows. She doesn't say a word.
It's a subtle thing. Yep. She actually doesn't have to. She's been rehearsing it, and she doesn't actually have to say anything,
Yeah, because they've been together as a couple for however many years, and so that's just one of those bits of shorthand you learn as partners.
Yeah, it was a really nice little sweet touching moment. I used to eat raw potatoes as a kid, for what it's worth.
So did I.
I did it every now and again.
Yeah,
bit of salt, they're great.
I know, right? So like, come on, like, let's tuck in. You're in a truck full of food. Eat the potatoes.
My thought is they're climbing up the potatoes to go to the back. I'm like, this is why you wash your vegetables.
Yeah, exactly.
You never
Errant
know.
boots.
Errant boots and criminals hiding out in trucks. Yeah. What else we got here? You got some notes that you've been referring to there, Chris. Why don't we touch on those as talking points as we usually do?
During their first conversation together, there are some dangerously close-ups of Frobisher and the Prime Minister.
That's true.
From the side, too. They're both from the side.
Profile
shots, yeah.
There's some other shots that are not quite so close profile, but still close up-ish. But yeah, he takes that camera tight to the face. That's a phrase I didn't. Anyway.
Moving on.
When Frobisher is saying, thanks for trusting me with the these tasks, whatever, and the Prime Minister just does this chilling smirk and then just coldly says, all I've done is put you on the front line.
Yeah,
the first to fall. It's
this is the Prime Minister after Saxon, right? So, bam.
Somewhere after Saxon, yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, we need another evil guy, but a different evil guy.
Yeah.
The whole stuff in episode 1 between Decker and Frobisher about civil servants, they come and go, is kind of in reference to Harry Jones and Saxon and whatnot. The rapid progression of change in prime ministers, which in reality that never happened.
I was going to say the Conservatives kind of proved that one out, didn't
it? It's a picture of a head of lettuce on the wall there as I walk into the office. Yeah,
Tom Baker's cabbage companion.
Yeah.
Thank you very much.
And also yes,
don't miss vegetable him or them.
That's another thing I like about this. I mean, it is a Doctor Who spinoff. I do know that we get a reference later on in this series. I won't spoil it just in case everybody forgets. But I love that there's no member berries at all going on. Like this, this is a spinoff from
PC
Torchwood.
Andy.
It's a PC Andy, but like there's no. But we say, oh, I remember this from before. Like we know who he is, but like this exists in the Doctor Who universe. There is the PM, but he's not walking past a picture of Harriet Jones or John Saxon. He's just
or making reference to Autons or something.
He's not making reference to past stories, even to past Torchwood stories.
Like in the first episode, they mentioned Martha Jones. That's about it.
And the picture of
Owen,
Toshin,
that makes context.
But they don't say anything. They don't say anything about who they are, what happened to them, when it happened. Nothing of that sort. To Stephen's point,
not a lot of as you knowing.
No, there's not even like when you like if you were to freeze frame the secret files that Lois Habiba is looking at in the computer.
I did.
Did you? I didn't really like detect anything outside of what was necessary to the drama.
I didn't either.
Well, I didn't.
There's not a picture of an ood there or anything like that. I
didn't freeze all of them, but one of them was a report about the discussion at a conference about knife violence.
Okay.
So, yeah.
Right.
I'm just saying what was there.
I know. I see. I thought you meant like that was like a tie into Doctor Who, which it clearly was not. So
no, God, no.
The knife fighters of Skaro.
Yeah. But then again, I mean, Doctor Who and Torchwood did not really get along. I mean, even the appearance of Gwen and Ianto in Doomsday or whatever, the Stolen Earth. Almost felt like, oh wow, Doctor Who's acknowledging their troubled older sibling,
Well, as was said from the get-go, Torchwood could appear in Doctor Who, but the Doctor can never appear in Torchwood.
That's true, yeah.
And they stuck to that.
They more or less did, yeah. Although I think Peter Capaldi holds the, don't quote me on this, there's probably like some background artist or some other one but the only lead actor, I suppose, to have been in 3 properties, that being Doctor Who, this, and that first episode of Class that he was in.
That's right, yeah.
Yeah, never showed up in
the Doctor.
Never showed up in Sarah Jane or anything like that.
But 2 different Doctors did.
Yes, but probably won't show up in The War Between the Land and the Sea, but I prepare to be amazed.
What if Ncuti Gatwa shows up in The War Between the Land and the Sea?
That would be a surprise. That would be what was considered to be a surprise.
Yes, quite so.
Yeah,
I wouldn't object to that. I don't think it'll happen. No.
I don't think it will either.
No.
Like the War Between the Land, what little I know about it, it seems to be kind of like this, where it's off in its own, doing its own deal.
Yeah. Yep. Yeah. Which is why we're reviewing this now, Warren.
Yeah, well, true, yes.
Yeah, it's important to the future. Yeah. What's next on your list there, Chris?
So I got a few things I've already covered off. After Reese and Gwen get into the military base and they're just going down the corridor, and the what's his name, Kodak is hitting on Gwen. There's a like a tense sounding, like darkish kind of music swell as Kodak is kind of just putting the pieces together to figure out that they're a couple.
Right. Boy, oh boy, is this
the whole but it's a great misdirect, because you expect him to realize that they're not undertakers or they're trespassing, something to put them in jeopardy. But he's like, you're a couple.
Yeah.
If anything,
can't forgive a guy for trying, or can't whatever.
Yeah.
If anything marks this as a television show from 2009, that is it right there. Like, you don't see that kind of stuff now. You just don't.
You would just be making such a play. On...
Yeah, I'm not complaining either. I'm just saying that it's different.
Hey, so you're coming to collect a body, are you? Well,
well,
like
waggling of the eyebrows.
Time and a place, man. Time and a place. I love
even the comic relief of the gate guard thinking that Kodak died and getting sad because
that wasn't bad.
Yeah.
He owes me money.
That was cute.
Yeah.
That was cute.
Yeah. I like how Reese is so inexperienced at this that his natural, like, protective, overprotective husband instincts kick in. It's just like, no, she's married, mate. Yeah, and all
she
that.
Has to shush him.
I love the way that she sort of like whips her arm around and she like this zip it kind of motion. That I also like the nice little scene. Where I'm looking literally through the cast list of Rhiannon's husband and how he's the one that sort of like, makes her realize like we're his only family that Ianto has. And I love that their little planned ruse to like all crowd around the car and block their vision so that Rhiannon can sneak out. Like,
that's great.
Take notes, America.
Yeah, that's just a neat little way for the community to get together to like to help them out. Yeah, it was a cool little moment, I thought.
100%. Love that bit.
Yeah, it was nice. It was nice. You know, and we turned a joke character into a bit of a hero in pretty much record time. Yeah, which is
or
cool.
even before that when he's spouting whatever nonsense like the kid peed the bed and whatever is he's trying to just under the assumption that they've been bugged.
Yeah. Which of course
even then he's like a lovable oaf kind of.
Yeah. What is his name? I've already forgotten.
Johnny.
Good old Johnny. We love you, Johnny.
Johnny, but not Bearman.
Well, he was Bear.
Although he is nude.
In that one scene, yeah, exactly. There we go.
Yep.
We got to the same joke.
Whole lot of Johnny butt.
Yep. What's next on your list there?
When Johnson and her team are chasing Ianto and Gwen and Reese and the heavy machine thing, heaven forbid their Land Rovers be driven off road to follow them. Like, it's a plot point that just drives me off the wall. Because okay, fine, Reese drives the truck, they blow it up, or whatever, the explosion goes off. But they're in frickin' Land Rovers. Just keep going. It's not.
Yeah.
It's not that hard. I realize, for those who might want to be utterly pedantic, some large percentage of SUV owners never take their SUVs off-road.
Oh, absolutely not. No.
But I don't see that being the case for a military trained hit squad.
That's true. Yeah. To quote Eric Roberts' master to Yuji So's Chang Li, we're in an ambulance, like drive through for crying out loud, Yeah.
Great example.
Yeah.
Great example.
Thank you. Didn't think I'd reference a TV movie today, but here we are.
Nope. You never know.
Yeah.
I love that there was a quarry actually portrayed as a quarry.
Yes, I know, right?
True.
So
I know.
So often they're not.
Put that in the short list along with Hand of Fear and basically this and Ambassadors of Death is the only place, basically, to use quarries as quarries.
Yeah, there aren't a lot of.
Is Hand of Fear the old timer for quarries?
I think so,
quarries?
Because they think it's an alien planet. I think at first, and
exactly,
to be an actual quarry. Yeah,
a little bit of inside humor there.
A little bit.
Jack throwing the jacket over his shoulder. The enclosure for the 456, especially when they talk about the gases and / poison that gets pumped in, really makes me think of the Rills from Galaxy 4, which somebody like RTD could definitely pull that out of his back pocket as a longtime fan.
I suppose, yeah. You know what oddly it made me think of, and this is another entity that I want to see, which I have not seen in a long time, and I liked it at the time, but I don't think I appreciated it as much. 2016's Arrival, directed by Denis Villeneuve.
It's a great film, yeah.
I remember, I don't remember much apart from, wasn't there similar things, like they had to build a thing for an alien or something?
Yes, there is, yeah.
I think even at the time I thought, wait a second, this is Tortured Children of Earth. What the hell's going on?
And I don't remember anything about Tortured Children of Earth, but in Arrival, the aliens have a different way of perceiving time, and the more that you learn their language, the more you perceive time differently too, which I thought was a kind of brilliant thing to throw in a movie.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I want to watch that one again. because even the
good
vibes of the two I felt were kind of like similar.
Yeah.
You know, just sort of this weird kind of Anyway.
And I just appreciate that they went to the effort of actually creating that language that was used by the aliens.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, Futurama did that at least twice. Once people broke the code, as it were, for the first time.
Mm-hmm.
But no, that's a good show. I haven't seen it since it was in theaters.
Mm-hmm.
The only other thing I had written down, and this is kind of as a side point, we were talking about this earlier today. I was kind of curious about some of the aerial footage that they shot, because some of the spots seem to be areas where I would imagine would be like a helicopter or anything no-fly zone, like down Whitehall kind of thing. So
Traffic circles, yeah.
I don't know what they did, how they shot it. I assume it must have been a helicopter.
Oh, it's a helicopter.
There's really nothing else for alternatives back then, because I was doing a little bit of digging, and at least for movies, Skyfall 2012. Skyfall, sorry, not Spyfall.
I know, I guess those two mix up too. Yep.
No, Skyfall, not Doctor Who, Spyfall, was basically credited as the first movie to use a drone, and then the second big one was Wolf of Wall Street, I think. Yeah.
Right.
Something like that. But in 2009, drones weren't a thing, or if they weren't a thing. Certainly not with the cameras that we have on them nowadays.
The thing is, with helicopters, you could be a lot higher up, and you've got that sort of stabilizing ball gimbal thing, so it looks a lot more steady. So
yeah, and it just could be that I'm placing assumptions on areas that maybe they're not.
That's true.
No fly,
and they still use those. I've seen those helicopters flying around Vancouver, so they still do them.
They listen. Torchwood certainly is not the first or last to have a helicopter flying around getting footage.
True.
And those zoom lenses do work wonders. They aren't flying by getting close up shots or anything like that down in downtown. They are somewhat far ahead. They're probably traffic helicopter height. Probably is what those things are. So
let me let you in on a little electric playground legend. When they would go to say they went downtown, let's say Boston or something to preview some game, they would always rent out a helicopter and fly up and get a bunch of broadcast quality footage of that city, just so they had it kicking around, which I thought was kind of a great idea.
B-roll.
B-roll plates. There are stock footage places that provide this sort of stuff. I don't think
I don't think
the BBC does that at
here.
the time. No, I think it's actually specially shot. Especially with grading being, not as prevalent, I guess. I think
isn't that nice that they just got only so much they can do to this picture?
It's amazing, isn't it? Like the first big movie that was digitally graded was Oh Brother Where Art Thou, which is 2000, I want to think.
But
shot on film,
flat.
but digitally graded because it
baffled the hell out of the lab.
Yeah, to achieve a look like that. So I feel like there is some digital grading going obviously on here, right here, but it does feel like a more natural image, I guess. Lois Habiba is very proficient at her job. I quite like her little turn, like basically choosing on her own to abandon the government that she's just started her work for and to help Gwen and Reese out. Like already has like ideas planned out for like maybe you could sneak in a hearse or something like that to pick up a body. Here are the routes. There you go. Like I'm a PA. I know what I'm doing. That sort of thing. Like she's hyper competent.
Over and above the do you want salt? Do you want sugar? Being helpful thing.
Mm-hmm. Buying them lunch and stuff like that because they have no money, obviously. That sort of thing. So
giving Reese what looked like a £10 note. Like 2009. Food costs less than.
And and I want to see some change. Thank you very much. It's like, wow, are you? Yeah, 10,000, boy. Yeah. And then the episode ends, of course, with them. Well, first off, the actual jailbreak. I remember at the time thinking, "Oh my god!" Like I actually don't know what's going on here. I don't know how they're going to get Captain Jack out of here because they alluded to the fact that they're filling the thing with cement and they opened the door and there's this big cement wall there. And I thought, how the hell are they going to get out there? I was expecting the cliffhanger to happen right there, and I remember it was almost like a literally punch the air moment when all of a sudden this giant forklift driven by Ianto rips the thing out of the wall and it drives it out. I thought it was just a great escape scene.
I'd totally forgotten as well. I wholeheartedly agree.
Yeah.
I find implausible, even though I'm sure it does actually exist, the extendo crane thing that they had. I'm like, what? Really? This is not standard issue on a forklift, I'd just like to say.
And the little flippy thing that goes down.
Tilts the hook part, basically, is what you mean to say?
My forklift driving is almost entirely Grand Theft Auto related, so what do I know? But
exactly, yeah. I don't know. I think you'll find, Warren. I think you'll find that is an actual crane lifting that thing out there. I mean, they are intended to reach high places, you know.
I suppose.
So, yeah, I don't know. I'm looking at it very closely right now as we record this, and I mean, we don't actually see the tractor in shot, so maybe you have a point to this. Maybe they've got a stunt prop out there to artificially extend that, but for now, listen, Warren, I will Google forklifts. All right, maybe I'll even.
It's not
Google.
that important, actually.
Well, it's important to me now that you've mentioned it. I won't do it on this podcast, but I will do it after the fact. All right.
On the TARDIS wiki, there's a little screen grab, and it just says Ianto uses a forklift to retrieve Jack's concrete cell.
Is a case. Case makes fine forklifts, just so you know. So,
right.
like I don't have any.
You're going off your incredible knowledge of forklifts, are you?
Well, I'm gonna. I know the brand Case. All right, Case. You do too, Warren. You grew up in Alberta. You know those things.
Yeah, true.
So
and covered construction history, so I should know more about.
You
forklifts,
should know
honestly.
more. Honestly, I should be asking you about this.
Yeah. Well, I know nothing.
All right. Well, I'll be looking into this, and we'll find a proper answer perhaps by the time we talk about episode 3. But episode 2 ends with more like a foreboding of what's to come. The fact that they filled up this tank with a different atmosphere, and it actually ends on Decker's reaction to it, which is kind of cool. Like, it was a bit of a low key menacing end to an episode, as opposed to like a cliffhanger or something like that.
Yeah, it's really, really different from the episode 1 cliffhanger, and both work very, very well. Yeah, I mean, as far as the cliffhanger goes, there's also the added bonus of we are coming tomorrow. So that's a great hook for you to tune in tomorrow.
That's true. Which is what people would have done back then, back in July of 2009, when it started across 5 nights. So. And then stuff happens in the next time trailer. But Chris, I know that you were trying to stay away from those, so I will not.
Purposely did not watch those again.
But one thing we didn't actually talk about is what an absolute creep that guy setting up the case for the aliens to live in is. Like, he's just weird as hell.
Decker.
Yeah.
Decker. Yeah.
Like, is he creepier than the first episode? I think he is.
I think he is, because there's a certain like gleefulness and reading off the bits of what's in the atmosphere.
Kind of getting off on this whole business of whatever it is they're up to. Yeah.
Well, we'll see what happens. I don't remember what happens to that guy in this TV show, so I, for one, am looking forward to what tragedy perhaps befalls this weirdo in episode 3 or beyond.
Oh, there's plenty of tragedy to go around, I'm betting, just based on my memories.
Yeah, that's true.
One of my favorite bits as well was Johnson talking to Frobisher. And Johnson says, what is it she says? His Lazarus qualities are undiminished, something like that.
Yeah.
And Frobisher's response is just, Jesus Christ. I'm like, yeah, he's the one that did that. Yep.
Yeah.
There you go.
Yep. That's right. That is right. I'm just looking at a Case diesel forklift, and they extend pretty far, just so you know. So,
what have I done? I've awakened a new passion in you.
I know. I'll be searching through every single episode of Doctor Who and Torchwood for more instances of this crane forklift. I will not.
Great.
I will not. Next time
and spiral staircases.
That'll be done by now, probably by the time you hear this. Anyway, that's it. That's it for our talk about part 2, day 2, if you will, of Children of Earth. Next time, it's day 3, written by who wrote day 3? Is this
Moran?
RTD, and that was the one. Is that the one combo efforts? Right.
I know it is too. I've been scrambling to find the episodes. Russell T Davies,
RTD
James Moran.
and James Moran.
Okay, yeah.
wrote this one. So let's see what happens there. Let's see what happens in the next episode of Torchwood, Children of Earth, here on Radio Free Skaro. In the meantime and in between time, I am Stephen in Edmonton.
Warren in Vancouver.
And Chris in Edmonton.
So long for now.